got something from Warner Brothers Discovery. Let's see what this is. Oh, cool.
Can you believe it? No, I'm unbelievable.
As Deadliest Catch reaches the tremendous milestone of 20 seasons, a gesture of our appreciation for the incredible work you've put into this groundbreaking and beloved program. Thanks for sharing your life from the wheelhouse with all of us and the world. From all your friends at Warner Brothers Discovery.
With that today?
No.
But I could shoot some stuff on here, and then I could pull it off and move.
Yeah,
and use one of yours as the stationary for a second.
Absolutely.
You know, we can kind of mix in that. It's not trying to do a whole, like a single take with a politician or something.
I'm just a black nigga.
So now we get into it. This is where we get interesting. The crew, I think you take over the helm again at this point.
Okay.
And the crew starts giving you shit.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you're saying you're lazy, you haven't been doing anything. Because somebody's got to drive the boat. And it's an easier job. Physically. But they're just giving you shit. So then you go back on deck.
Well, I do both, right? So a lot of the time, the guys they'll get a little bit more break even than I do because, you know, if Rick needs a break, I'm up there driving. If we're in between strings, I'll go up and drive while everyone else has a little break. I'm not trying to make them food and whatnot. It's not necessarily about who works harder or who is lazy or this or that. The fact of the matter is, some people are just unhappy seeing others progress in their career when they've done the same thing their whole career. And that's just how it is. And this has happened on a few other boats, you know, with specific types of people who don't like me because I'm different or don't like that. You know, I always have something smart to say. It's not like, oh, I'm just the victim all the time. Sometimes, as you've seen, I deserve a good ass chewing, but that no one deserves to have like racial pejoratives thrown at them just because someone's mad. But I've worked with so many idiots down in Westport, people who don't know how to express themselves, people who lack serious intellectual capacity. And I mean, that's from the boats that I started on. Like, there's always somebody that has to say something. If I were to try to get scrappy with every guy who called me the N-word, I would never have a job. If I were to try to be up in arms in someone's face because they've noticed that I might have a better tan than them, I would never have any success in my life.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if you just take it outside the fishing industry, I mean, if you're a minority and that's the one thing you identify with, well, you might have a hard time finding success. Like, why alienate yourself? Why push everyone else away just because you're different? You need to evolve, adapt, and find a way to make a way. It's not going to be easy, but it definitely doesn't have to be harder than it is. And that's just life.
Just a black nigga.
Cool. This right here says Deadliest Catch.
I don't have a last name that allowed me to be quiet and humble and slowly move my way around knowing that's my job next year or in 5 years. I wasn't given that opportunity. I don't have a silver spoon down my throat and up my ass, so I have to kind of Miley Cyrus it and wrecking ball my way through around a little bit to make my mark and get a place. You know, and the show, people, I look at it and I'm like, wow, am I really like that in a way? Like, I'm like, you know what, I am, but I've had to be. It is what it is. I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I make a goal and I go for it. I could hardly even play guitar a few years ago, but my guitarist quit, so I started teaching myself guitar. You know what I mean? You just fill in where it needs to be filled and make a way when there was no way possible.